Hi folks, John Dunn here, RPG freelancer, publisher behind Melee Via. I'm up here today at Immortals Inc. with Mikey.
What is up, John? How it goes?
It's going pretty well. How about you, man?
Pretty good. We're here and it's fall and we're talking about more dark stuff maybe?
I think this qualifies as dark. Yeah.
Does it? Because I mean, it's a specific niche category we have going on.
Well,
here.
This one is dark in the sense that it is very much a life is cheap.
Life is cheap?
Life is real cheap.
Okay.
Today we're going to talk about Battlelords of the 23rd Century from 23rd Century Productions. And this is the release of the game for Savage Worlds. We're just going to talk about the core rules right now, but there are actually a couple of supplements out for it that we have on the shelf as well.
Is this going to be an accurate depiction of what's going to be going on 200 years from now?
God, I hope not. So, Battlelords of the 23rd Century is a setting that's been around for a little while. It actually came out right around 1990, 1991, and I first found out about it when I met Larry Sims, who is the creator behind it. I believe he's still alive, but he's retired from game development now. And I was at this convention at the University of Toledo in the spring of 1991. And it was Sunday afternoon. My buddies and I were getting ready to drive back to campus. And we just thought we'd do one last pass of the dealer hall. And Larry was a military vet, is a hysterical guy, and an incredible salesman. I'm pretty sure Larry has sold me at least 6 copies of this game system. And that first time, he talked us into the game so well that without realizing it, we all spent all the cash we had on hand so that we didn't have enough money to pay for the turnpike tolls on the way home.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So quite a predicament.
Yeah.
We got that bill later.
Yeah. We got on the turnpike and the guy that was driving was like, all right, who's got cash for the tolls? And none of us had it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that was his ability to sell things.
Hey, shout out to him.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So he's a character and a half. And if you ever get a chance to game with him, absolutely seize that chance because he runs a great game of Battlelords. Now, his company in the 90s was Optimus Design Systems. In 1999, SSDC took over. And then in 2017, 23rd Century Productions got the rights to it. This is a sci-fi mercenary game. It's a fairly complex setting. And the original version, like I said, I think it's been through about 7-ish editions, did have a fairly complex rules system. With this version, they're switching that over to use the Savage Worlds system. I feel it's made things a lot more consistent. I think the implementation they did is a pretty solid fit and does a neat job of maintaining some of that high-level Battlelords, just visceral feel with the Savage Worlds heroic system. Talking about the setting, you've got your bad guys. You've got the primary ones are the arachnids, which are, bug aliens.
Yeah.
And then you also have the Atlanteans, which are kind of they're nanites that are invading civilization as we know it. But then you also have mega corporations and governments and non-government entities that are all in conflict with one another. And pretty much all of them are looking to hire mercenaries to do bad things to other people before it's done unto them.
Of course.
Yeah. And Battlelords isn't just the title, it's also a rank that the characters can earn. Basically, a Battlelord is kind of a warlord. There's somebody that has become sufficiently accomplished in the art of war that people recognize them for it.
Ultimate respect.
Right. And of course, because this is the far future, a lot of these fights are broadcast, right?
Wow.
So it's being filmed, and you might earn that Battlelord reputation because of the things you did in front of a camera, not just how it went on the battlefield.
You might go Instagram famous and then get the title, yeah.
Getting into the game, there are 13-ish species that are presented that are all members of the Alliance. You have a cat species, and these aren't just, humanoid cats. They're actual 4-legged mountain lion type cats. You have a race of empaths that look suspiciously like asparagus. And yeah, humans call them asparagus heads.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a samurai-like alien culture that are called the Sword Saints. There's a race of rabbit men. a race of essentially bat frogs, humans, shapeshifters, energy controllers, squids, pretty much, and 2 slightly different lizard species, some undead, and an insect race who are not the arachnids that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got a whole bunch of different alien cultures who don't really get along real well. For the record, these alien templates are not created to be completely balanced with other Savage Worlds races in most other products. They're created on a +10 race level. Like I said, they are in conflict with one another often. The different species tend to have attitudes towards one another, so that can raise some themes of stereotypes and speciesism, particularly if that's something that you want to bring up at your table to just kind of, see how that plays out. Once you've picked a species, you pick a job, skills, edges, hindrances, powers, money, employer, military rank, and gear. Much of this is very similar to things that you've seen in other Savage Worlds. And then you do have access to species-specific hindrances and edges. So, for instance, your bat frog can pick abilities and edges and hindrances that wouldn't be available to a human.
Nice.
Yeah. It's not really vanilla Savage Worlds. They've done a bit to tweak the system, and really that fits with Battlelords if you've seen it before. Battlelords had a lot of different subsystems, and some of that carries over. There's quite a few different plugins and rules tweaks that kind of capture some of that feel of, holy cow, there's a lot of moving parts going on as we're engaging in this conflict. And I think that's a theme that folks who have liked other editions of Battlelords are going to like to see preserved. People who are diehard Savage Worlds fans might be a little confused by this, but I think you'll be able to get up and running with it pretty quick, even in spite of that. And it is still, even with these other systems, vastly faster and maintains much more of that fast, furious, fun Savage Worlds feel than what you'd see with the original system. Some of the examples are aggression checks, a system for super heavy armor and weapons, environmental resistance, sensor systems, and expanded injury and healing tables. There's about 30 pages of armor rules packed in here, and another 30 pages of weapons, and 20 more pages of other equipment, and then 15 pages of powers. So you're getting a whole lot of raw material for creating your character and giving him all the different gewgaws and doodads and big honking guns and, incredibly protective armor that you're going to want when you're charging out in that battlefield and the cameras are rolling.
I mean, it's a whole lot of info.
Yeah, there is a ton of info. I mentioned a couple of other books that are out there. One of those is the Carnage Companion, which presents sample characters and just more of everything. And that's a 128-page book. And then there's an Alliance setting guide, which really kind of functions as the Game Master's guide. So this gives you, everything you're going to need for character creation. That Alliance setting guide is going to give the Game Master all the tools necessary to get that game up and running and to explore that material. This is 208 pages. It's full color. It's from 23rd Century Publications, and it is $50. We have a couple copies here on the shelf. Do stop in, take a look. If you're not familiar with Battlelords at all, I think you're in for a real treat, because this is absolute just zany levels of carnage and mega action that, really has its own niche and can be a whole lot of fun, especially when you're thinking about something like, a violent conflict, Starship Troopers, or, Aliens, where you've got soldiers coming into conflict with these crazy monstrosities, or even just one another on the battlefield. If you wanted to do something along those lines, this could be a lot of fun to do it with.
I mean, all that info backs the title.
It absolutely does. Stop in, got it on the shelf here, or at immortalsinc.com.
Well said, John. Thank you guys for watching. Check it out for yourselves in the link in the description.
Till next time, folks, good gaming.
Peace.